In this video, we're going to look at 4 reasons you should carry and train with weapons. Hi guys, Paul from Warrior Tactical Systems. In this video, we're going to look at 4 reasons to carry and train with weapons. In my view, the highest level of martial arts is to where we don't have to hurt someone. If you can deal with, possibly multiple dangerous adversaries without being able to hurt someone, you're at the absolute master level. And, that's our ultimate goal, again, is to not have to hurt someone. So learning how jiu-jitsu, some other arts that can, fit in those spots where maybe it doesn't call for a weapon are important. But again, for us mere mortals, we have to know how to use a weapon because of some of these reasons we're going to talk about. Now, part of the problem, I think, is people come from that fair fight paradigm. And that's a good thing. Sport really builds a lot of character. You go in there, you fight fair, you win or lose based on the hard work you put in and sometimes the luck of the draw. But you learn a lot doing that sort of thing. That's not what we're talking about here. That has a lot of value. What we're talking about is survival. That's why, we need to think about these reasons for carrying a weapon. Okay, so number 1 is criminals use weapons. That's just the reality. They look for any advantage. They're not looking for a fair fight. They're looking to achieve whatever their goal is, whether it's to rob you, rape you, murder you, whatever it is. They want to do that with the least effort possible. So since they're going to use weapons, we need to understand how to defend against them. And the best way to learn to defend against them is to understand the weapon itself. Understand how it's used, why it's used, the attributes of it. So while we're learning to defend against the weapon, we learn how to use the weapon. Number 2 is it's an equalizer. Okay, again, criminals don't want that fair fight, so they're going to be bigger, younger, stronger. There may be more than one of them. They're going to use unequal initiative. They're going to surprise you. They're not going to challenge you to a duel. So, with that in mind, we have to have some type of equalizer to catch up with them. They're already ahead of us. They've targeted us, and we're reactive. We need to have these tools to be able to deal with them. If you're a female, if you're older, you have injuries, a weapon is an essential tool to allow you to defend yourself, and everybody has a right to self-defense. A friend of mine a couple years ago tore his right rotator cuff out playing with his kids. It just popped out, and he had to have surgery. He was unable to lift his arm for several months. And, that's a time when you need a weapon to defend yourself because he can't fight like he could when his shoulder was good. So, luckily, he had been trained with firearms for years. He's a firearms instructor. And he worked both hands, which is very important with all weapons. So, he was able to carry a firearm on his left side, and he became very proficient, with it very quickly because he'd already trained it a lot in the past. So, again, that's that equalizer that allows you to defend yourself. Number 3 is it enables you to handle worse situations. So, I may be able to deal with, multiple opponents if I get lucky. If I get the first shot in, if I'm able to pick something up, if I'm able to get away quickly, maybe I could deal with multiple opponents. But there's a greater chance that I'll lose in that situation. And if you train it, if you actually get some gear on, practice it a little bit, you'll see how overwhelming and dangerous it is. So, we need to be able to deal with these things because it's just a reality of what criminals are going to do. They're going to target a smaller, weaker victim. They're going to bring multiple opponents. They're going to have weapons. By us carrying a weapon, we're able to deal with a much worse situation. Take these jihadists that we're dealing with now that are attacking with vehicles, running people over. They're using knives. We have the active shooter threat that we're still dealing with, and if all I have is my empty hands, that's going to be difficult to deal with. Doesn't mean I can't do something, but it would be a lot easier if I had a firearm. Okay, so if you're legally able to carry a firearm, by all means you should. Not all locations are enable you to do that, but if at all possible, you definitely should. A knife is a good second choice. Again, this allows for that lethal force. Nothing wrong with carrying less lethal tools as well. But, those 2 tools would be my first go-to if at all possible. Number 4 is attributes, the development of attributes. Working with weapons develops an entirely different set of attributes than just doing sport martial arts, things like that. The speed you develop in your hands from double stick, from working with a knife, It's just different. You know, you're using different body mechanics. It makes you efficient as well. Keeps your body in tight and moving efficiently. It can develop a lot of accuracy. Working with weapons can really improve your accuracy and your hand-eye coordination. So, you know, another big one that weapons develop, including firearms, is mindset. It's a different type of mindset. The sport, mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu, things like that, they develop really good mindset too. When somebody's sitting on your chest, punching in the face, and you know you're trying to escape and you're exhausted, that develops you know, some very important mindset issues, you know, a lot of things. But dealing with a weapon and understanding the realities of that, being responsible about it, understanding, you know, the consequences, understanding that you may have to kill someone, you may be killed, that changes you, that can mature you in a lot of ways, and that can help round out your mindset from the sport and the reality-based side. Also, different weapons develop different attributes depending on the length of the weapon, whether it's edge or impact. You know, flexible weapons, they all develop different attributes, and fighting one against the other develops different tactics that can apply to the empty hands. If I'm going with a stick against a long staff, I have to be able to close rapidly and close that distance. I have to have good blocking structure, different things that I can develop from that can apply to my empty hands. One good example is nunchucks. You know, I had them as kids. You know, we play with them, the padded ones and stuff, and they were always a lot of fun. You see Bruce Lee swinging them around. But I never really thought of them much as a weapon. I thought it was just something cool to play with. When I went and did the full contact stick fighting, we had mixed weapons matches. We tried different things. And the chucks actually had some really interesting attributes. They're very non-telegraphic. They can whip out with a lot of power without really telegraphing the motion that you would with a stick. It'll be right here and it'll be out. So that was interesting. Now, I still wouldn't carry them around by any means, but it helped me to appreciate them a little bit more and understand, you know, every weapon has its attributes, every weapon has its place, and I need to learn those and understand the strengths and weaknesses of each. So a lot of things, you know, to think about there, guys. Again, the main reasons you want to carry and train with a weapon, criminals use weapons. It's just a reality. We need to be able to deal with them. We need to be able to use them against them. They're an equalizer. They allow us to defend ourselves, which we all have a right to do, whether we're older or whether we're smaller, whatever it happens to be, and it gives us a better chance against that opponent with an advantage. We're able to handle worse situations. We can now possibly deal with and win against a larger opponent, multiple opponents, you know, a younger opponent with more endurance. And then number 4, attributes. It just develops a whole different set of attributes that can really help you out. Okay, so, you know, if you're able to carry a gun, if you're legally able to, please get the training and, you know, carry responsibly. If you can't, get some training with the edge weapons, and, you know, there's a lot to learn with those, a lot of attributes you can develop. And, you know, if nothing else, carry something. Carry a pepper spray, carry a pen, a steel pen, whatever it is, but it's going to give you that advantage and that ability to defend yourself and your loved ones. Alright guys, carry if you can, stay safe, and stay bladed. If you enjoyed that video, please hit like and subscribe to Warrior Tactical Systems. We put out a new video once a week. And leave me a comment below. Why do you carry weapons? Or why do you not believe that you should carry weapons? Appreciate the feedback.